Hi guys, this video is part of a series where we're actually going to give you costs for a kitchen. We are going to take before and after pictures of kitchens where we have actually gone in and done a full, essentially renovation or installation. We're going to show you the costs associated with the cabinetry, the countertops, all of the materials that we installed, and the labor. And we're going to do this for multiple kitchens at multiple price points. As you're looking at this kitchen, it's a nice kitchen. It's got solid upgrades. It's got a lot of upgrades that people like. It's a pretty kitchen, super fun kitchen to do. The homeowner was super happy with the outcome. For the homeowner's privacy, we're not going to give you specific costs or exact costs. The kitchen we're going to look at today is about a $40,000 project. In reality, the range is like $37,000 to $42,000. This kitchen was done in late 2022. So if you're watching this video and it's 2024, know that this pricing and this range was from a few years ago. It's important to know on this project, I think, the things that we didn't do. So in this project, we did not do flooring. We did not do appliances. And none of the projects we show you did we do any of the appliances. We don't get involved in appliances. Pricing does not include any decorative items, shelves, items that you see on the countertops, pictures. We don't get into that type of thing. If it's affixed to the wall, like a decorative electrical fixture, that we would provide, that we would install. But the decorative items that you see on countertops, not anything that we have done. So what we're going to cover in this video are things that we have done: cabinetry, countertops, backsplash, finish details, and labor. The cabinets on this project, there was 21 cabinets. And by 21 cabinets, some cabinets are obviously bigger than others. Some are doors, some are drawers, some are trash pullouts. But when we think 21 cabinets, we're sort of saying 21 boxes of cabinets. So you can walk into your kitchen and count cabinets and go, yeah, this is about a 20 cabinet kitchen. Some kitchens are 40, some are 50, but that's a frame of reference to use. The cabinetry that we're showing in this particular project here is actually painted, and it is painted with, it's a company that we use, and this is a standard paint finish for them. Industry-wide, industry norm, there's going to be a 10% upcharge for painted cabinetry. This is a stock color. So this is one of their 16 standard colors. It's a 10% premium over stained or finished wood. Like most cabinet manufacturers, we could do full custom color. So any color that Sherwin-Williams has available, you could get that. That's a pretty standard feature from most mid to upper level cabinet lines, but that's gonna often be like a 20% premium as opposed to a 10% premium. This cabinetry is also frameless cabinetry. This really is not a price difference. It's a preference in look and finish, but there's really not that much of a price difference between frameless and framed cabinetry. In this cabinetry, we also have a bunch of, we'll say, upgrades, add-ons. They did some nice things within this cabinetry. They also did some nice things that you wouldn't have to do if you're sort of looking at this project as a comparison to yours. First and foremost is you can see this coffee bar. They did a coffee bar. That coffee bar is totally optional. It's not even really in the kitchen. The dining room and the kitchen obviously are attached. That coffee bar, shelves, top, cabinetry, even that cabinetry at the coffee bar has like a slanted foot, which is a decorative item, which costs more. That coffee bar, $4,000 to $6,000 probably. So if you were looking at this project, and like I said, we're going to be in a range of 37 to 42. If you just eliminated that coffee bar, this is immediately a $32,000 to $37,000 project. The client in this particular project chose crown molding. Crown molding, for better or worse, and again, this is any cabinetry line, crown molding is pretty expensive when you start to add up the lineal feet. If all you wanted to do was cabinets around your window by your sink, that's a nice decorative touch, but if you want to outfit your whole kitchen with crown molding, that's a very expensive upgrade. This also has floating shelves. Floating shelves are beautiful, and they really, really are. They add something to a kitchen. You have exposure. You can do all sorts of decorative items on a per lineal foot basis. When you compare a floating shelf to a cabinet, floating shelves are very expensive, and they're not nearly as functional, but they do add something. As you can see, this kitchen has multiple 3-drawer base cabinets. They certainly add a look. They add a level of storage and functionality that a standard cabinet does not have, but they're more expensive. You have multiple doors, you have multiple drawer guides. They just cost more money. Another thing that you'll see in this kitchen right next to the refrigerator is essentially like a utility or a pantry cabinet. Very nice to have. Again, anytime you get into these large doors, larger cabinets, bigger depths, they cost more money. That certainly could have been finished with a smaller cabinet. That was an upgrade as well. You see a farmhouse sink. Anytime you have essentially a farmhouse sink, you've automatically added cost for the sink itself because they're just more expensive. But the cabinetry is more expensive. There's an additional labor cost because that cabinetry has to be cut out and modified to fit the sink. The homeowner here chose to have under cabinet lighting, which again, a pretty large upgrade, and it's a pretty expensive upgrade. For the cabinetry component, anytime you have under cabinet lighting, you have to add what is called an under cabinet molding or a light rail molding. And that molding actually hides the lighting that is built in under the cabinet. In this one, they also chose a bunch of rollouts. So in those base cabinets where you have doors that swing open, you open that up and they have trays in there that roll in and out. It's great for storage, it's great for access. Very nice upgrade. In one of the corners, this particular homeowner chose a Lazy Susan. So you have a corner cabinet, they're tough to use for storage. This person chose a Lazy Susan, which is something that spins around and gives you access to everything that's within the cabinet. They also really, at the end of the peninsula, they chose to use a very nice trash pullout. We list all of these things in the cabinetry cost to go, they're all upgrades. We could have not done these and basically got most of the same look, most of the same functionality, but this particular homeowner chose to upgrade. This cabinetry, as you see it with all of the upgrades, cost for homeowner was about $18,000 to $22,000. And like I said, without the coffee bar, remove some of these upgrades, probably could have saved $7,000 to $8,000. On this project, you will see that there's a quartz countertop. Quartz is obviously a material that is pretty popular at this point. It's a very durable material. It's a good material. There is a range to the cost of quartz. The range is pretty tight compared to a lot of other products. It's a man-made product. In this particular kitchen, they chose probably a mid-level to lower cost countertop. It's a quality quartz brand. It will last a very, very long time with a little bit of maintenance. So for this particular countertop, and it is readily available. This wasn't any special material, no special order, readily available. Everyone would have this material. This countertop was in the neighborhood of about 50 square feet, and the cost for this countertop was approximately $5,000. Now, that includes an edge detail on the edge of the countertop that you get to choose. That includes a sink, and it includes installation. So again, countertop somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 square feet and somewhere in the neighborhood of $5,000. In this kitchen, you will see a backsplash. Backsplashes come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, materials. For this particular backsplash, they chose a pretty standard tile. It's obviously decorative. It obviously has a little bit of a sheen. The tile is actually a crackled tile. It's installed in a very standard pattern. The cost for the Schluter, the grout, the materials, the tile itself was about $1,000, and there was approximately 40 square foot of tile. So for this particular kitchen, the client chose pretty standard finish details. And finish details is a pretty broad, generic term. When we say finish details, we mean hardware, faucet, light fixture, under cabinet lighting. And that can mean more things in this kitchen. This is what it means. As far as the labor goes, the labor on each particular project, again, just like the materials, is pretty unique. But the labor in this project was actually relatively extensive for the nature of the project. Again, we did not do floors. We had to move a gas line. We had to move their HVAC over the stove hood vent. We had to modify siding on the outside of the home. As we vented outside, we had to move it. We had to modify the siding. We had to do some exterior work as well. We had to reroute some electrical wiring. We moved outlets. We moved switches. We actually added lighting, as you can tell by the light fixture. We had to do quite a bit of drywall work. We did install the appliances. We installed the cabinetry. We did install the backsplash. And we did hook up the sink and the faucet. In this particular job, a lot of we'll call it custom labor was done with adding the gas line, rerouting the HVAC, things of that nature. When you start ripping open walls, when you start adding electrical, when you start adding gas lines, that stuff becomes expensive, to be quite honest. The reality was we could have potentially designed this kitchen without moving the gas lines and leaving the hood vent where it was. In this particular scenario, obviously the homeowner was willing to move those things. There's a cost associated. Anytime you want to move utilities, anytime you want to move walls, your project is going to cost more. I hope you guys learned a lot in this video. It's a super fun video to do because we go through all of these kitchens and really think about what we were doing, why we did it, what we were trying to accomplish, what was the cost, and we're actually learning ways to save people money. Again, this kitchen was a $37,000 to $42,000, but I hope it was really helpful. If you have any questions about this, certainly give us a call. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful.